Alright, getting ready to put this motor back together. Just showing assortment of parts I've got. Now I end up buying this spare, I don't know, bottom end bits and pieces of a once complete motor. It had obviously dropped the valve and yeah, done a really bad job on that, but the cam journal's actually alright on that. So, but I grabbed this purely for the fact that I needed some nuts and bolts mainly, which just an assortment there. So I thought it'd be good just to grab it for $150, and if I need something, I can just pilfer off of this engine here. This is the Althena. It's a standard bore piston, rings, and head, cylinder, barrel, what do you want to call it. And yeah, everything's pretty nice, so I'm going to clean up the top of that, make it all nice and pretty, prepare the bore with some Scotch-Brite, some ATF fluid, make it so it all mates up, check the valves, the rings for the gap, if I need to like take a little bit off with a file or grind it off, like to make sure it meets up nicely. And this is the barrel that came with it, which I wasn't too fussed on, and this is the piston. Wasn't going to risk putting something in that bad of a condition, and yeah, even if I put new rings on it, it's better off I'll grab that for $150 rather than mucking around with that. So these are all the nuts and bolts that came with it. Now I don't know why, but I've actually got two cam chain tensioners that came with that, and I've got a third one that came with this engine. So yeah, I've got some spare. I've got two spare. Obviously the inlet boot, or whatever you want to call it. Got that. Now these cam buckets are a little bit suspect, so probably end up grabbing off of this head here, get that out. But yeah, this is the head that came with the bike, so it's been all cleaned up and looks quite nice, but the valves aren't new, so putting new valve stem seals and setting that up. I've got a shim kit and everything, so but yeah, that's it there. If I swing over to here, these are all the bits and pieces I've purchased for the bike over the past few weeks. So I've got the shim kit there, got some grips because the grips are the thing, the carburetor in there. I've grabbed an aftermarket header pipe because it was a lot nicer looking than what I've already got and couldn't be bothered mucking around. I did find out that my starter motor wasn't working, so I ordered another starter motor. I've got a coil there, I've got the head gasket kit, and it's got the valve stem seals there. So I've got some water hoses or radiator hoses. I've got the the clutch gasket, a water pump service kit, because I'm going to have to remove the clutch cover to get to the cam chain. I'm going to be swapping that out. This came with the bike, so I've got another cam chain there. I've got the air filter. So what I'm going to be doing is going to take off the tank, the seat, the exhaust, get back under there and check it all out. I was able to clean up the engine casing a little bit better. I'll be flushing diesel through the bottom end crankcase because there's a bit of like residue, a bit of like I don't know, sort of oily dust. So I'll be cleaning all that out. Get those surfaces. I've got an air compressor now that I can blow out these threaded holes, get all that. So But yeah, I've got the starter motor off, checked it and tested it, and yeah, so stuck the battery in. She's got 21,000 kilometers on it, so got all that. I was happy that I stuck the battery in it just to check out all the electrics, which everything's fine, but that starter motor, checked it with the multimeter. It's getting power, but it's just not turning, so to grab another starter motor wasn't that much of a hassle. So yeah, I'm just going to be taking the seat, the tank, and the radiator shrouds, get down in there and flush it with some diesel, get that side clutch cover off, maybe clean up the piston, the barrel, or the bore, get that head set up, and yeah, see how we go. Alright, see you soon, guys. Progress. I've cleaned the top of the piston crown of all the carbon with some ATF fluid. I've just got some ATF fluid just remaining in there. I'm gonna get those last little bits, but yeah, it came up quite nice. Just made sure the grooves didn't have any more carbon built up in there. Cleaned up the Althena barrel. So yeah, gonna get some Scotch-Brite and do it once over again, and then come back with some carby cleaner or contact cleaner and get that very nice and clean. Ready to get the top end back together. I'm gonna use this piece of plumbing, 100mm or 90mm pipe tube that I got from the hardware store, and I've got a clamp to go around that, so I'm going to slice that and make that into a ring compressor. So got that. Also, since I've got new timing chain going on, I've had to wait for a tool to grab the clutch basket. So had to wait for that to arrive, and that's arrived now. So I gave this a test run and gave it a shot on this clutch basket on the spare engine. Also gave the spare engine a bit of a clean up before it goes into storage. See what happens with the one that's in the bike at the moment, if the bottom end's all good. If not, yeah, if it is, I can sell this on. So we're good. I got the air compressor as I was cleaning up the engine, and I noticed in the back of the boot I had a couple of wasp mud where they make their nests, so that was like spraying around. So lucky I picked up on that, or I would have assembled the carb and everything on the bike and would have sucked those straight into the combustion chamber, so that would have sucked. And I've got the side covers off the motor, so because I've got to do the to where the timing chain comes down in there, so yeah, had to remove the side covers. So this is the side cover that was on the bike. I removed that so I can get access to the timing chain and check the timing marks. This is the one that's came off this spare motor over here, and it's just a bit nicer, so looks like I'm probably going to use the nicer looking one over this one here. So yeah, just a little bit less corrosion. It'll just look a little bit nicer and neater. So yeah, and got that. So I instead of just ordering just the gasket needed, I got a water pump rebuild kit. So just to be better to be safe than sorry, to do all the water pump seals, get that all sorted out, then yeah, so there's no dramas down the road. So that's it. I've got the cam assembly lube, so this is what I'll be putting in the gudgeon pin and setting it up like into the conrod, and just normal motor oil to lubricate up the rings on the barrel. I've still got to put the rings in and check the gaps, the tolerances, and like gap the rings if I need to file them down or get them within spec, or if they're good to go straight in. It was the original piston and rings that came out of that barrel, so chances are it would be already set up ready to go, but you never know. You wouldn't want to make that assumption and have problems later on. So, oh yeah, there goes the air compressor. So that was a good thing, investing in a little air compressor there. So the whole reason I done that was so I can blow out all these little holes and capillaries. So I've cleaned up the gasket surface there, found the timing chain deep within the motor, got the tank off obviously, seat, got the boot off, so had to take off the brake lever to get access to get that cover off, but we'll be cleaning up, just making it look a little bit neater and get off all the grime and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I've got the side case off there. So next step will be getting the barrel, piston and ring on. Getting the piston and ring on the conrod, and then putting the ring compressor onto the piston, getting it into the barrel, get the gasket on there, and then it will be attacking the head. So I've got the old shims out there, and once I'm not 100% sure, but I might put those shims in just to get like a base line of the ports, and the tolerances, and then work out to go from there. As you've probably seen the hot cams shim kit that I've got, so obviously do that off the bike, so get it all set up, torque wrench with the hex bit sockets in there, and get that all sorted out. And then put the timing chain in, get the head on after I've set it up with the shims, put the starter motor in, put the water pump together, and then see how it goes. Next up I'll have the piston and the barrel on, so it's just an update of where I'm at the moment. Right, cheers guys. Alright, just gapping the rings here. So I've got the bottom ring here, which is the thickest one on this piston setup. So we're going at this between 0.4 to 0.55. That's a standard rating, and service limit is 0.9. So I've got him here, and we can almost just get the 0.6 in there, but the 0.50, which is, I don't know if you can see that, so sorry, the 0.55. So we are spot on, bang on the money for that one there, which is great. So I'll pull that one out and I'll stick the top one in there and measure that. Okay, we're looking for the bottom, the top, so we're looking between 0.25 and 0.4, and service limit is 0.7, so I found we've got a 0.33, which she is absolutely perfect with. So yep, the rings are good. So I do a final inspection, clean up the piston, go over the barrel one more time with some WD-40, and clean it up with a nice clean cloth. Get that, and I've got the gasket kit ready to go on. So get the gaskets and get it sorted. So hopefully I'll have the piston on in the next half an hour. Alright, see you soon. Oh, also, this is my legendary makeshift piston ring compressor. So I made it, took a couple of seconds to do, so yeah, worked out fine. That's the old piston, so yeah, I'll set that up and get it all going. Right, see you in a sec. Just checked the gudgeon pin for play, and she's absolutely snug. There's nothing there whatsoever, so that's all good. I'll put the rings onto the piston, and I'll get the assembly lube on the gudgeon pin, and yeah, get the piston onto the con rod. Alright, see you in a sec. Alright, got the piston on, gudgeon pin in, circlip on. I put the rag down just to make sure the circlip didn't fall down into the engine. Stuck the bottom gasket on and the dowels. Happy with where the rings are in position. So I've got the oil ring at the back here, and number 1 is up on the top here, and number 2 is on the other side there on the exhaust port. So lube that up, install my ring compressor, get that set up, and then clean up the barrel, and then yeah, get him on. So here we go. Okay, makeshift ring compressor is on. Rings are all lubed up, moved around and absolutely soaked in there. Got the barrel here, which is all cleaned up. Nice white cloth. Got it all out, so she's nice and clean up in there. So here we go, piston and barrel getting put together. Let's do it. See you in a sec. Alright, there we go. We now have piston, barrel, rings, the top end halfway there. So that's it. I'm done for the day. The homemade piston ring compressor did alright, served its purpose, but I found the old school way of just holding the rings and having a bit of a wiggle and get it up in there. Yeah, I haven't done that in quite a number of years, and it worked very, very quick and efficient. So, but the spring compressor, the homemade ring compressor, was useful for getting it all lined up and getting it started. So anyway, that's me done for the day. I'll see you tomorrow. Alright, today is the day we do the head assembly. So I've got my valve stem seal installer, so probably using the 5mm here, set it up on that. I've got the retainers, springs, yeah, all that. These are the original shims that are from what came with the bike, so I'm gonna chance it and put those in to get like a baseline and adjust from there. When I set it up, we've got the cam buckets out of the spare motor head that I got, and yeah, they're a lot nicer. In fact, they're really good. The spare motor didn't come with any shims with it at all, so yeah, they probably grabbed them out when they sold on the engine. I've got the seals here, valve stem seals. So I've got the head. Now obviously a little bit of like blue tail, like yeah, blue residue. So I've got the, what do we got here? The Prussian blue here. So it looks like these valves have already been blued and checked over. They are quite nice. If we can get that in. No. I can't get my finger in there. Anyway, so they do, yeah, they've been machined, but they're I don't think they're brand new. There's a little bit of wear down there, but if they match up nicely, I'm not too concerned. So yeah, I'll be cleaning up all those parts there, lube them up, get them in there. Checked for, yeah, go with the engineering blew or blew the valves. Check that over, make sure they're 100%. Get off any kind of dust or anything that's collected inside the head. Set the cams up. Get the torque wrench, torque down the bolts, check the shims, do a bit of record keeping, get a nice blank piece of paper and write down all the calculations and figure it out. So anyway, hopefully next video will be when I've got this head together. So see you soon. Alright, so this is bluing the valve seats. So got the valve there, put a nice thin film of blue over it, got it in there, wiped off the excess and then gave it a few taps, and it's a beautiful seal right there all the way around. So that is absolutely excellent. So yeah, that's bluing the valves is the first one, so looks very promising with this head. If I run into any dramas, I'll be back with another short video, but if not, yeah, I'll be getting ready to put these valve springs in. Alright, see you. Alright, valve stem seals are installed. So I went to use the kit, and obviously I don't have a 4mm or 4.5 or whatever it is, so I had to, well, I thought I was going to use the good old 12mm, 11mm on a socket, but I managed to lube them up, and I used the remover to line them up, and I just pushed them on with my finger. Within doing that, they all clicked into position. They're all nice and level, they're nice and snug. But yeah, that actual click sound that they made as they actually snapped on to the little groove in there, so that was a promising thing. So anyway, going to install the valve springs, so I'll see you in a sec. Okay, we now have the valves installed, springs, the whole lot. I did run into a bit of problems with the spring compressor dialing it in. The first inlet valve took me about 25 minutes, half an hour, to come up with a method. I knew the technique, but then as soon as I developed the method and dialed in the spring compressor with the ends there and figured it out, I also had to use the old the spare engine head to get a gauge of how deep the valve sits inside the retainer. So as soon as I figured that out, the second one took me about 5 minutes, third one about 2 minutes, and the last one another 2 minutes or so. Once I figured out also how to drop the collars down, landed it quite well. So anyway, I've got the old shims there, so now we're going to set up the cams and yeah, dial it in. I've got my verniers and the calipers, I've got the filler gauge, so here we go. Let's see, I'll get the notepad and pen out and dial it in. Alright, catches. Alright, I've just done all the valve clearances. So on the inlet here we've got 0.20, and up here we've got 0.15. So it's got a 275 hot cam shim in there, and this one's got a 2.70, and over here we've got 0.30. So we've got a 2.95, bit of calculation, like the shims that came with it were a little bit out of spec, a bit worn, so yeah, they didn't really give correct values when on the calipers. But after I stuck the 2.95 in and got that reading as 0.35, and I stuck the 2.95 in and I got the 0.30, so that's within spec. And the top one here, same thing again. So put the 2.90 in and it gave me the 0.35, and put the 2.95 in and gave me 0.30. So that's that all done. Next thing will be fitting the head to the bike. So now I'm going to take the cams off again and set it up. And yeah, once I start getting into that, I bagged them up from overnight last night, so get that off. Yeah, get the head on, get the cam guide in there, and I'll put the starter motor on, and I'll get around to the clutch side and get the new timing chain in. So wish me luck, and I'll see you soon. Alright, update. The head is on, all torqued up, and I've torqued up the cam journals, so she's all set, ready to go. I did run into one drama with the timing chain guide, was out of position, torqued it up, and then as I was putting the exhaust cam on, ran into a problem where the gear wouldn't turn properly. So further inspection, I got the guide out of position, so put that there, and that's it. So I'll be setting the timing up and doing that, but next I'll be putting that starter motor on. So I've got two starter motors here, and obviously this is the replacement, which it feels a lot nicer. This one's just loose as, so yeah, I'll be putting the starter motor on, and then I'll get that clutch basket off and attack the timing chain. So probably get that done tomorrow. So yep, that's all for tonight. Alright, cheers guys, bye. Alright, starter motor on, installed. I just gotta touch up the contacts in the cable and attach it. Getting into the clutch basket, so I've got the original nut here, and it's only looks like it's only been struck once, so I'm guessing this will be on the original timing chain. And also looking at the gasket there, that looks like the Suzuki factory one. So yeah, be doing that. And I've got the new timing chain here, which is a Pro X one, so I'll get the tool, get that on there, pop that off, and set the new cam chain on. So alright, see you in a sec. Okay, we now have the timing or cam chain installed, done the timing, set that all up, got the cam chain tensioner on there, got the clutch basket, or whatever you want to call it. Doing this up was a real pain. Two problems is that I had to take off this cover here in this assembly to get a 26mm spanner onto that, and in doing so I didn't have one, so I had to go up to the shop and grab one of those. It wasn't quite right, but I made it work. Plus my torque wrench is a little bit off, makes a duller sound the more torque it goes up. So, but eventually I got there anyway. So yep, got all that back on, got the cams on, timing chain installed, got the back on. So anyway, moment of truth. I'll just stick the camera on the tripod, and we'll see how we go. Alright. Yeah, looks good. Alright, so I'm just going to turn it over to see if it, well, see if it actually turns over, see if the battery's got any charge. So, put that down. That's something. Okay. she's turning over, got to figure out, clean out those contacts and the switches, whether it be up in the console or not, but that's it. She's all together, she turns over. So next things will be getting the carburetor sorted out. So I ended up making a mistake ordering a Mikuni carb, which the Australian models, they came with the FCR MX carb. So I found out that it was the wrong diameter. It was about 4 or 5 mil too small. So yeah, wait for that to come. Got the spark plug, get around to the side here, and got to, while I'm waiting for the carb, clean up that gasket surface there, install the water pump seals and bearings into the case, and once I've got all that, yep, put the exhaust on. I'll probably end up painting that exhaust, give a fresher look. I've got that stainless SS bomb, what do you want to call it, I've got that sucker to go on. So the carb that I got is just a cheap China one, but it comes with additional main and pilot jets, so get that in. I've got to clean out the tank, but yeah, apart from that, as soon as I've got that case hub on there, still got to drop this, there's a filter up in the frame here, so once I get that out, clean that, put some oil into it, pre-charge the oil filter, clean out the radiator, yeah, new coolant, put the boot on, clean up a whole, I've got an assortment of parts there to clean up, so got a few things to do, but yeah, all the hard work is done. But yep, that's it. Alright, I'll see you soon. Okay, I've just sorted out the intermittent start button problem. So what I did was I removed the terminals here, cleaned them up with a wire brush, put some Miracle working DRZ400 contact cleaner on it, bolted them back up, put some silicone paste over the top of the terminals to protect them for future problems. Also gave some DRZ400 cleaner, rejuvenator into the start button and setup. So yeah, turn him on. If you can see this, I'll see if I can hold on to it. Oh. There we go, all done, problem sorted. That will be reliable and as good as gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the valve clearances for now. I'll probably just do like a check, but after the bike's running for about, let's say, I don't know, half an hour, I'll pop that cover off and check the clearances for the shims. I did leave it on the loose side, but it may tighten up, so I'll check it and see if it's within spec, but being on the loose side, give or take a few decimals of a millimetre to take up with those new valves, because I've completely reset the head with the valves, the springs, the whole lot. So yeah, doing all that, but that's it. Starter problem sorted. Cheers guys, bye. Alright, I'm about to install this water pump gasket seal kit with bearings and everything into, this is the spare engine side case, so as I mentioned before, it's just a little bit nicer than the one that was on it. So I'm going to install this and take this cover off and put it on over there. So that's that. This one also, she had the seal, whereas this one didn't have it at all, so that could have been a bit of a problem down the track. I've got that. I've got the frame filter out, so it was actually quite clean. I don't know if that was all the diesel that I put down to flush it out. Also, I've cleaned up the gasket surface, ready for that side engine cover to go back on. I've cleaned up, while I was able to get access, so I've cleaned up the back of the engine, the swing arm. Got a thing, I haven't done it properly yet. That was just the first hit. I'm going to come back and do it again, but yeah, if I have any dramas, I'll keep you posted, but hopefully get this engine cover back on and yeah, get the filter in and get some oil into it, so that'll be good. Right, see you in a sec, guys. Okay, just got the water pump assembly here, and I've got quite a fair bit of gunk and build up, so I'm not sure if that seal ever went, but I think it's a good idea that I'm actually installing the new seals and bearing. One of the things is I only needed this gasket here because I need to take that side cover off to get the clutch basket out to get to the timing chain, but it came with the rest of the seals, so I wasn't really going to install the water pump kit, but I thought, oh well, while it's out I might as well do it. But yeah, that's it, so I'm going to clean that up, install those seals, put some moly grease on the seals to make sure they all don't initially wear on first startup. But yeah, get them all back together. Alright, see you in a sec. Okay, got all the new seals in and bearings. Water pump is now installed. Well, all the bearing seals, circlips, that's all the bits and pieces that came out of it. It's a bit of a fun time getting that out, but it was, yeah, once it started moving it was fine, but yeah, get it out from behind with the socket. So, been doing water pumps since I was about 13 years old with my CR80 with the head gasket installed incorrectly, so that kept blowing out water pump seals, so I've got a fair bit of experience setting them up and getting them installed. Yeah, bit of moly grease, bit of oil, lube it up. I put the bolts back in, so I've got a nice stable surface to knock them back in. But yeah, that's it. So pretty much I'll be putting the gasket on and getting the side cover onto the bike, and yeah, once that's all on, yep, put the cover on and install the plugs, well, radiator bungs, or I mean not radiator, but oil plugs and drain plugs, the filter, get all back in there, and yeah, get it turned over and see how it goes. Try to get some oil up into the top end there, see how the oil pump's operating. Yeah, see how we go. I'll see you soon. Alright, the side cover is all on. I've got all the frame filter, the frame sump plug, I've got the sump pan plug, or the sump plug on the bottom of the motor, the timing chain inspection, got that on. I've got the magneto or stator back on, so what I'm going to do now is prime that new filter. I've got a magnet screen thing to go on there in between the filter and the motor, so hopefully they'll catch any kind of nastiness down in there. I've got my oil there, so just got to come up with a method to get the oil into that there, into the entry point. But yeah, I'll see you in a sec once I've got this all together and turning over. Alright, see you soon. Just had to make a homemade funnel, bit of a soft drink bottle and good old gaffer tape to support it, so cut the top of it and away we go. Alright, so I've just filled it up with 1.7 litres of oil. It's making its way down to the crankcase. I'll crank it over and see if we get some oil up there. So when there's all up there, I'll give you guys a look and yeah, see how it goes. Alright, cheers. Okay, I've removed the radiators. I'm going to give these a bit of a clean up. Well, going to give them a clean up. So I've got the tanks noticed on one of the mounting brackets right here. I'm going to straighten that out. But yeah, clean up the tanks, give them an inspection, flush them out, get them all up and going. We come over here, got the exhaust pipe off, so I've given that a clean up and a coat of paint with heat paint, so that's the first coat. I'll get another 1 or 2 coats to make sure it's all nice and even out. Coming back to the engine, I've torqued the head bolts up at, I've done them up to 34 foot-pound. I'm going to increase that to 43 foot-pound to give it a bit of extra torque, because they reckon it's a misprint in the manual, and 34 is a bit too light for a bike of this compression and this amount of cc to the bore, so that's that. Been cleaning up other parts like the intake boot, some plastics and stuff, so yeah, so while the radiators are off, I'll be re-torquing this head bolts, the 4 of them. Got to remove the cams again, which is probably the 3rd time I've had to do this. But yeah, re-torque the head bolts, then clean the radiator, get them on. Got the new radiator coolant pipes here, so the hoses, so get those on, got the clamps all nice and cleaned up, so yeah, basically I'll get that all sorted and I'll see you in the next part. Okay, I've got the aluminium cleaner out and cleaned up the radiators. Main thing was not to make it look pretty, but just to clean off any kind of residual baked on gunk and whatnot. So yeah, looks a lot better. That's those there. Not too concerned about the final finish. Still got to knock out that, but yeah, that's the radiators done. I'll fit those up. I've already retensioned up the head studs again, the head bolts. Yeah, took the cams off, got back in there, and yeah, torqued them up. They initially cracked a little as I was doing them up, and then the torque wrench got it. 34 is way too light, but yeah, redid them at 43 foot-pound, so that's all done, and I was yeah, got that all sorted. So get the radiator on, put the hoses on, some coolant there, put the valve train cover on top of the head, and yeah, start getting it ready for the carburetor when it arrives. Alright, see you soon. Okay, update. We have the radiators on, the new silicon radiator hoses are in or installed. I've already put coolant in the coolant system, brake lever back on, and yeah, the valve train cover, so all ready to go. I've got the exhaust over there, so I'm just waiting on a carburetor to turn up, the FCR MX, and I've also had to order the gasket graphite to go between the header pipe and the muffler. But what I'm doing here is I had a problem with these indicators. First things first was that the actual was busted, so that would not pass a roadworthy inspection, and also they were flashing too quick. So what I've done is I've got new indicators to install, but also putting in a load resistor to stop them flashing so quick. So halfway through doing that, and one added benefit was the aftermarket ones that were previously installed had already had the colours for the black and the yellow, so all I had to do was just drop it down and cut off the old good old connectors, and I've soldering that in. So that's that. Apart from that, everything else is going well. Tried to crank the motor over last night, but didn't have enough battery power, and I've got the spark plug in, so now it's actually showing proper compression. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully next video will be with the carburetor installed and the exhaust system on, trying to crank it over. Alright, I'll see you soon. Oh, one of the problem I've encountered was that front wheel. She's very, very tight, so I'm going to have to rectify that, because as soon as the bike's running I want to be able to take it for a test ride and get some movement into that motor. So I'm not going to be able to do that with a badly gripping, can't think of the word, binding up front wheel, so I'll get that sorted. Anyway, that's pretty much it. She's looking great. Alright, see you soon. Carburetor has arrived. I've just done the mod where the looks like the accelerator pump activator. I've just tied a bit of wire around here to make sure there's no play and it's always contacting, so it doesn't come off if it needs to be relieved. But yeah, that's it. So far so good. Looks like it all mounts up, so I'll do the cabling first and then mount it up with the intake boots. So it's all coming together. See you soon. Okay, got the carburetor installed. It was quite easy. So all I did was put a bit of silicone lube in the boots, mated them up, fit perfectly, and then put the rear boot into the airbox on. But that's all done. I've just had to grab one of these bolts off of the spare head that I had, so I can cap off that, because I've only got one entry point on the carburetor. That's it. I've done some other additional cleaning up. Yeah, added the hoses and got all that. Just clean up the frame a bit. But yeah, pretty much straight up. So yeah, got all the lines, got the PCV box in, ran the lines. But yeah, that's it. I was fortunate enough to find a good seller on Gumtree that all I needed was just the cage, but he sent me the air filter as well. So I've just cleaned it, so I've got to lube that up. Just got to I've cleaned out the tank and just install the exhaust system. So that's all I've got coming up. Right, see you soon. Alright, got the tank on, and I've definitely got a tank to petcock seal problem. I've just put fuel in it, so she's leaking out there. But not to be deterred, I'm gonna give the bike a kick in the guts, see how it goes. Got the exhaust on over this side, so that's it there. And I've plugged up all the hoses and holes and anything else that's need to be done. So I'm gonna stick this on and see how we go. All right, let's see how we go. Choke's on. Yep. Give that. Rolly brake happening. That's that. Alright. Couple of pumps of throttle. bang, we have a running bike. Nice. All right, better get this out of here because we're gonna have a everything. Got all the smoke coming off the painted exhaust, so she's bubbling up. Still got to get the gasket for that, but it sounds wonderful. We have a running bike, so yeah, I'll wait for the gasket to come. I'll be ordering that petcock kit and getting that all sorted, but it sounds great. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Next video will be this thing on the road and riding with a GoPro strapped to me. So, alright, cheers guys. Bye-bye.